was it recording the whole time? They're like, where'd they go?
I don't want to stop and start it, and I'm just gonna.
I know.
Just cut it out, so it's.
They're like, this is their everyday boring life, huh?
I get what you mean now. It's so bright out here. Everything is so bright. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm like, what? It's so much better when you got a hood. We're not trying to be Sith Lords. We're just trying to like.
I don't know, man. Sith Lords are kind of cool. Anakin became one.
I'm just
You're
trying
not cool unless you're a Sith Lord for a little bit, you know? Darth Vader is cool. Anyways, so, Jesus, what time is it? 9:44? We took this at 3. We're almost at 7 hours. Just 10.
We should have brought the guy who only took half.
Ugh.
I'm just kidding. I don't want to say that was only half, but he wanted to get
only half. I know, that's a lot.
He was like, "That was strong." He was my trip buddy in college.
I know, that was his first time trying LSD.
And I was like, "Wait a minute."
Okay, so let's light one of these.
He's like one of those friends that tells you they're gonna put the drop in the gummies and then they don't, and then you're the only one tripping.
I'm sorry. I am too weak for this. I have to... So I put this on the table and I just put the light in.
I just did it right here. You want me to do it? That's so weird. I don't... Oh.
I know. I am too weak.
No, but I think I've had practice with... Like I said, I used to smoke menthols and I knew mentholated cigarettes were so bad. Those additives are really harsh. And so
why? They sound fun.
Trying other things. And
menthol.
The camel menthols was like this burst. So... The tobacco wasn't treated with, added chemicals to make it mentholated. It's regular tobacco, and the menthol came through a terpene ball.
That same thing, terpene ball?
No, we call it terpene ball. They didn't call it
menthol ball.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, I didn't light it, but you can totally taste the terps before you light it if you want to get a taste of it without it.
It's like vaping a blunt, if you guys know what that means.
Vaping a blunt.
Yeah. So if you guys have ever wanted to vape a blunt, this is what you get.
Call us up.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Don't come visit us in our studios and for research purposes.
Oh yeah. No, totally. Our studio is supposed to become a park too, and I think that's why we love Disney so much, is because they set the standard for like parks where like people can come visit, but then we want to create like a therapeutic park where people like, you have the choice whether you want to like buy cannabis products or psilocybin products or LSD products, and it's
so
like
a Burning Man, but in a like but it's jungle atmosphere.
Yeah, it's a safe place to like consume or like it's a safe place to consume basically. So I don't know. Yeah, if this channel gets big enough, we'll be able to raise probably for that in no time. People would love to visit a place like that. I would love to visit a place like that. I would just live there. People are just trying. Who would leave?
We just build it right around us.
Yeah.
I'll bring the marijuana seeds.
And I'll bring the
mushroom spores.
Tabs.
Oh yeah, you bring the gel tab. I'll bring the scissors.
Thank you.
I'll bring the kids to question you back into reality. Or out of it.
No, man. That's why I wear the noise-canceling headphones. So I don't have to deal with their questions. They know now. They're like, when they see me,
I have to tell them.
They're like, oh, okay. So,
I am no longer teacher. I'm no longer Alexa. They broke Alexa. Alexa! Yeah, because I was
Alexa,
you hear me? They weren't asking me. They got to, and then she like, I forgot her shutdown thing, but I was like, and they knew. They're like, shh, don't say anything. I think she's going to sleep.
Alexa's mad.
Yeah, what's gonna happen?
Amazon's angry.
What is she connected to?
I know. Alexa knows too much.
I know. When I tell my kids I don't know, they look at me like I'm lying. I'm like, and then when I tell you what I know, you're like, no, you don't. No, that's wrong.
It's like, fine, just Google it. We gave you a phone. Like,
I know they do. They want me to spell stuff. I'm like, this is getting them to read faster.
Yeah, that is great. I know. Well, I mean, it's a different kind of reading, but at least, yeah, it's
communicating. It's still like,
yeah, they're trying to learn how to spell and like
them how to
sound it out.
Communicate with each other.
That's interesting. I didn't ever think about the internet as being a motivator for that. But yeah, I guess in terms of like if you want to search stuff or like talk to people, like
It's
that's
like
the
the
first
biggest
thing.
library of
Yeah, I think that's
access
what
to the outside world.
I mean, just seeing Adriana like type to other people, it was just amazing to me because it was like right when she was learning how to like read and write and she was doing it like she was able to just practice it. And I think I mean, you know, in the age of COVID, it's a lot harder to like I feel like do that, especially if you're like typing and reading, unless you have
Oh.
access to like games like that where you actually have to type to communicate with other people.
Yeah, I give her parameters on what she's allowed to say because she's like,
Hey, Sean.
I know. Oh my
Wow.
gosh, thanks.
Sean, do you want to say hi?
Look,
This is our friend Trung. He was actually our first
he was
guest.
my trip buddy, and so that's why I was like, wait, this is the first time you dropped acid?
Yeah, he's the guy that took half a tab. You have fun? We've been recording this entire time. It's 3 hours
My
and 22 minutes in.
UCSD college,
So
let's experiment and explore life together.
Yeah. So how do
I
you
thought
feel?
we did all the drugs together.
You
You
did
remember
half
the
a tab.
shrooms?
You did half a tab 7 hours ago. How do you feel? It's fun?
He
Feels
wanted
like
more
I'm on-
visuals.
Feels like I'm on shrooms.
Yeah. Do you like it more than shrooms? Less
I
than
can't
shrooms?
believe how much shrooms
It comes
you've
in
done.
waves. It comes in waves.
And then-
I definitely felt like drunk, but without the drunkenness.
There's
Without
a
the
buzz.
sloppiness?
A
Yeah,
buzz.
yeah, okay.
Without the inebriation.
Yeah.
All right. You like it?
It was
You have a
fun.
good time?
That's why some people
It
get
was interesting.
anxiety.
Would you do it again? Would you recommend
Full
it?
dose.
Yeah, I'd probably do
Oh,
it
sorry.
again.
Don't get too close to the green screen. Just,
Oh, yeah.
You distort their realities. Oh, no, mine.
All right, yeah, we're gonna finish up here soon. We're just smoking up the rest of these, and then we'll be
Oh,
inside.
yeah.
Or we'll finish.
What is this called?
It looks like an old fashioned.
Yes,
Oh, dang.
that's the last.
Okay, what was this one?
That's the last in the house. So.
What did you give me in these?
That's a Negroni.
An old
with
fashioned is like the
modification, with a
only drink I
modification.
can recognize, just because it has
It's a
the.
Negroni with a modification using Bruto Americano.
Using a brute American?
Is that what they call like a grande black eye?
Bruto Americano.
That's what the maricon.
Wait, so
Did I do it right?
maricón.
Yeah.
Un pájaro.
Oh.
We were telling him the gay slurs and how
I remember.
he slips them in to confuse his friends and counterparts because they wouldn't know how to support you if you like came out as anything besides
This is the thing.
straight male.
Sometimes
right?
I like to confuse the people at church and just be like, sometimes I wish I dressed like a woman. You know, you guys don't ever feel like.
That's how you should test whether or not they truly have been reading their Bibles and studying on their Jesus.
No, it's kind of how I test how
do you
cool
love
people
and
are.
accept and support them?
Pretty much. But then I can also see who can take a joke or not.
That's true. Yeah, this tastes different every time. I did the same weed. See, I feel like LSD through its trip can make you perceive the same stimuli very differently, which is like
Maybe
that's why people understand perspective and are more empathetic maybe after, because they're like,
I mean, there's just so many nuances.
that shit used to not bother me, and then it bothered me at that moment.
It's because I think there are so many nuances to an experience that it's impossible
To experience them all.
Well, I think that's why it's like you can experience the same
You
thing
can try.
different ways because you're experiencing a nuance in the experience a different way.
Are we gonna look back and be like, oh my gosh?
I don't know. Maybe we'll encourage cool YouTubers to do LSD with us. Who knows?
No, but in all honesty,
No one's doing it.
therapeutic effects for like when you're really about to give up on something sometimes.
On life?
Or, yeah, it just helps you find perspective.
So the therapeutic benefits for like suicidal thoughts.
No, even when people come they're traumatized, and so they don't want to make a certain decision. It's not even like suicide. It could be just, but it's as big as that. It's like for them is like a life-threatening thing. It's like it's a simple decision that needs to be made, and
yeah, it helps you.
It's as exacerbated like that, even though it seems so minuscule depending on their situation, but to help them get over that. Or through that.
So maybe through
LSD
that
has
perspective.
Helped me.
Get through like not maybe taking that as serious?
Or just not trying to quit things before their time, or hate on people or judge people so quickly, or like
but that's the best part of sizing someone up.
When I want to like rage quit things, it's just a normal thing I want to do. This is like anecdotal. And so when I don't want to be doing that shit, like, but I can't see it any other way. It's great to take LSD and like journal it out and be like, well, maybe you were.
Do you rage quit stuff?
It's I totally can that subreddit, am I the asshole? I feel like I'm constantly, am I the asshole here?
Because you're on the side of the asshole. You're like,
always.
Yeah, that guy's on the right. What are you doing wrong? You totally deserve that. I mean, that guy totally deserved it.
Without an asshole, where's all the shit gonna go? Come on. Just kidding.
I mean, that's like in Deuteronomy, right? Is that in the Old Testament somewhere? I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure it's been written about over and over again. Even my kids read a book. Everyone poops.
I read that book. Oh my God. Yeah. It was so gross. When did that book come out? I remember thinking like, who made this book? It's disgusting. As a kid, I was like...
But it gave you the exact...
No, it didn't.
It told you what it was.
I knew what I needed. Oh. But I was like, what is... I don't know. It's just like the fact that someone thought that needed to be made is so bizarre to me.
Oh, my kids, when they were potty training.
Maybe it's not for...
Because I don't think they remember the book now.
Yeah, maybe it's not... Yeah,
maybe you got introduced to the book in a
maybe
weird time.
When I was already too old for the book. Obviously, hopefully.
Yeah, but you didn't have kids, so you couldn't appreciate it for...
Yeah, I just
what it was meant. You were like, it's so weird.
Like, it's so weird. But yeah, I guess it's just because I was a kid.
It just makes it cringy.
It's like, who doesn't know that everybody poops? Like,
it's like trying to give you a birds and the bees
anything that
store. Like,
but it just seems so like anything that eats poops. Obviously, it's like, why do you need a book to explain that to you?
Because you'd be surprised how many kids get scared by the stuff that comes out of their rear end.
But it's coming out all the time.
It's not like, all the time.
Oh, okay. I guess. Interesting.
As a human, you have to understand when you're going to defecate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's happening out all the time. It happens
not all the time. You feel like you're pooping all the time? That's a problem.
No, but it's like...
It's only when you defecate, and that should take only a few seconds of the day.
Like, every animal knows that they're going to poop.
Oh, gosh. Kids, you'd be surprised. Humans are one of the few that they'll, like, eat their own poop until they kill themselves. Like, that's a baby. They're very
all right, there's 2 more pieces left.
You have to teach them a lot. Like, I guess with all the cerebral capacity, you have to teach them a lot of the basics that kind of, well, now your parents live long enough so that they can teach you those things.
Just give them an iPhone. It's fine.
Now, I know. So I'm like, wow, my kids were born in the perfect time.
Yeah, that's true. I think millennials were the last generation to really understand what it was like to live before the internet. I mean, that's where that book was made for. It's like before, when books were needed to be made because the internet wasn't widely available. Like you didn't consume media. It wasn't a
space that you readily occupied all the time, or that occupied your attention all the time.
But the bandwidth of the internet was so small back then that you could only text message anyway. So it's
because there was only so much data.
Now we consume 4K videos on our phones. It's crazy.
That's why I'm saying now I'm okay with putting videos like this. How many videos are being uploaded like this? Like, who's gonna find it anyways? And if they find it, it's like that means you really were looking for it.
I know. I look at Gustin, and I know, and obviously it's not his fault for like being born where he was born, but it's like it's interesting to compare. Like when I was your age, all I had like a DVD player. Oh,
you're sounding like an old.
No. I just think it's really interesting. Just the gap. So Gustin and I was born in '88. Gustin was born in how old? When was he born? What year was Gustin born? 2010? No, 2015.
Holy shit.
Okay, so he's
2014. So 14.
How old was I then?
2014, 2012, Adriana. 2010.
2008, I was 20. So Gustin is 2014.
Mm-hmm.
So 2000.
He was born. Gustin.
So he's like 26 years younger than I am. Mm-hmm. So when I was his age, a DVD player was new. We were just transitioning from a VHS to the DVD players. And I remember the first DVD we
still
had.
have VHS player at our house.
Yeah. And I remember the first DVD we had was A Bug's Life. And I remember because I would watch it all the time. Mm-hmm. Because you didn't have to rewind it. And so you could just immediately watch it. It was the most amazing thing.
Just press play. Yeah, we still have that red car rewinder.
Yeah.
And...
Yeah. That was the transition
how
from
fast you can rewind. It was like, oh, you go watch
that was the cutting edge media at the time for me, and I was so happy with it because A Bug's Life was a great movie.
That was the torture point when now it's so easy to get, because by the time you got it rewinding, the kid has lost the attention to want to watch the movie again. Now they have it repeat.
All right. So let me get back to my example.
But now we're at a point where they have their own, and they're not.
Right. So let me get back to that. So Gustin is at his. So I was 6 at the time when we. So Gustin's 6 now.
First grade.
Yeah, and he has. I mean, because of COVID, like he wouldn't normally have this, but he has an iPhone 6s because we don't pay for internet, so our phone line is our main access point for data, right?
Well, here they only have satellite and other things.
Right, so we're not going to pay for the
we have the phone lines. If they work, let's use the phone.
So that's why he has a phone, because it's cheaper for us to just add another phone line for him to use rather than like having to constantly hotspot a device for him.
But he has a hotspot for his school device.
Right, but then it's not when we want to go out and like when we have to travel.
That's
like,
true.
It's just so unreliable. And so. But having an iPhone 6s and like access to like YouTube, basically like content on demand for like that's such a big advancement in technology from like 26 years in a gap.
It's fast.
Yeah. And it's on your phone now. It's like the screen came to you. You don't have to like sit in front of a TV anymore.
I don't know. The fact that it's so intuitive. I don't think I would have used as much or gotten as far if I was stuck on Android. I'm
that's
not
true.
Stuck, but it was harder for me to fix the bugs. Whereas I feel like, there's not as many bugs. And so I kind of like got, what's it called? Like the kids, like I understand it without understanding it.
Yeah, they have a much... That's when I realized the power of
like, wow,
Apple's...
Apple products streamlined it in a way that I don't,
Well, that's when I realized the power of their design was because Adriana was maybe like 4 at the time, and she was using an iPhone. Like she was able to like swipe and like go through the apps. But at the same time, so was our mom, who's like 70 years older.
Every time we had to update a phone, it was
she couldn't use any
hard.
Of the Samsung or Android phone, so she would just use the dumb phone because
every week we would have to help her upgrade or do something that was just like a little complicated.
But I think
fix a bug.
Yeah, and I think you got her first iPhone, and she was just able to use it. Like I
thought she stopped bothering me because she was like, she has kids now. She's really busy. That might have been the fact too, but I think she just like it's easier for her. She uses it.
It's way easier because I know
she's
manage
sending
it for her.
me. She made her own emojis and stuff. I was like,
oh yeah, so I got our dad. Yeah, I finally. So
They're
we
doing
finally
stuff that I'm like, I can't even keep up with the old people. I can't keep up with the young people. I can't. Whatever.
Yeah, we finally upgraded our dad to an iPhone. He never had an iPhone in his life. The last phone he had, which is basically until this year, was a Samsung Galaxy S6. which came out in 2015. So he never he never spends money on like anything unless it like
and that was
breaks.
just for work anyways. He didn't use it like
Right.
the way.
So finally we got him on an iPhone 7 Plus, which came out just a year after the current phone he has now, but it's supported by the latest iOS, and so it's still like it's a very capable phone and much better than the phone he had now. But he's sending us now like these, I don't even recognize them. They're like these weird emojis that I don't recognize. I'm like, where did you get this?
I was like, how did
It's like,
I feel like they downloaded different like apps or keyboards or things that like.
yeah. Well, as soon as I got him set up,
there's so many options
with
now
his phone, he
compared
just
to what we could do with our phone before.
yeah, as like I think he's a lot more comfortable using the iPhone just because it's so much easier to use, and that's really what you pay for. It's like it's just easy to use. It might not be as functional as like an Android or like a cutting edge Android, but at least like it's easy to use, and it's gonna be
as
easy,
customizable.
Yeah, and the same usability is gonna be there for like like the iPhone 7 Plus is like a 4-year-old phone now. 5-year-old? 4? It's pretty old.
Well, that's when I was like, oh, they did make it for like what he said, just the consumer, not the professional. But like it's not imping on quality. It's just changing the interface like.
One of my favorite things to do, I mean, this is both of us actually, is like we love looking at our phones. Like the iPhone is literally. I
used to not like looking at screens. I'd rather,
but the iPhone,
the fact
it's like
that it's gone so far and it's gotten so.
So when you consider like industrial like design,
like what
and like
is this?
Just like all the technology that like goes and just like making any phone really. But like I don't know, Apple seems to like put a lot of emphasis on like aesthetic design, and so it makes it really like pretty to look at.
But I'm like the stuff I can do with it, the pictures.
Oh the cameras. It's incredibly functional.
You know, you're doing your Zoom meetings through it, and you're doing everything through your. It's like people don't realize, I guess, because they weren't of a time where there wasn't handheld computers in their hands.
There you go. Yeah.
Our computers are so big and luggy. Like
no, in my generation,
the things that they could do. I was looking at we couldn't even imagine a gigabyte of like something being so like.
No, literally in my generation, I went from Math Blasters to Oregon Trail, and then we went to the internet. And then to the internet, like on our screens, and now your kids, they only know the screen. They'll never know a phone with buttons on it. You know, it's like
I'm trying to. I have to teach them how to to type.
Nice. Yeah, but anyways,
they are so quick at finding the things that I don't even recognize, which is like the voice to whatever. So that they can speak it and they don't ever have to write it. And I was like, no, you can't do that.
Well, they're gonna have to learn how to write. I mean, because
I know they're at the point where I have to teach them how to write right now. They're like literally in 1st and 2nd grade, so I can't let them just because those cheats are there. Like, can I? Who else is gonna teach them how to write?
Well, they have to learn how to write to communicate to like each other and like in emails.
Well,
like
yes,
they're
Roblox,
already gonna want it.
They're already
like in gaming. I think the same technology that motivates them to not write, like there's going to be something that in there that motivates them to write. You know what I mean? Because not all games have that text to speech, and so they have to type to each other if they want to communicate.
Oh yeah, no, but I was talking about like when I see them see those shortcuts in these apps, and there's like all these buttons, and the fact that they can recognize those symbols, I'm like. I only know the save button and the trash. Oh, this means you want text. Oh, that's over on the other side. Yeah, but you can have this whole thing on your phone and do this video and take this video and then
literally, it could all be done. That's what
but for me, I'm used to seeing all this hardware.
And that's what the crazy thing about the M1 MacBooks, the brand new ones, they're all running on these iPhone chips. And so it's even like the computational like generation leap has already been made where we're like that's all they'll like I don't think Adrian and Gustin will ever have an Intel x86 computer. They're
They don't
all
even know
going
what
to
that
be ARM.
is.
I know that's exactly.
Like, why would
We've
they
already
have
left that generation behind,
uh-huh.
and so it's like, yeah, they're really living in like a new age of computation. And my generation feels like dinosaurs now because it's like everything
Your
we
age,
knew.
I feel like
No, but
we're
everything that we
stuck in
like everything x86 is now it's like it's fossil fuel. Like you have to learn ARM and you have to learn like you're already behind if you're not on ARM.
Yeah. Adapt the new technologies if history tells you nothing.
Most of my life I felt like I wasn't able to pay enough attention to things. And I feel like LSD finally gave me like not the
Wait,
focus.
your problem was you weren't paying attention?
I felt like I couldn't. I felt like I couldn't see
people are
the
like,
details.
Focus, and you're like, focus on what?
No. I wanted to focus, but I felt like I couldn't see the details. And now it's like, it's like, what are the things that make like a quality product? And it's like, I don't know. You check the stitching. It's like,
quality control?
No, right. And I feel like LSD really
market testing.
LSD really helped me figure out what like good industrial design looks like, and I think that's why that's what really attracts me.
Needs a creative almost aspect.
Yeah, right. But that's what attracts me to like brands that like really have a strong respect for like aesthetics like that.
For the design.
So it's either like Apple with like their industrial design, or like Christopher Nolan with like his movies, or even like Arc'teryx with like their
without
clothing.
any loss in
right. So if you don't know quality, if you don't know what to look for in quality, like you'll never see it, right? And that's what I feel like LSD really helped me see, is like the details that I wanted to see, so I could discern for myself whether things were quality or not.
Yeah.
God, I dropped my phone once. I was so sad. Do you see these chip marks? I want to Sharpie it in with like a black Sharpie so I don't see them anymore.
Just keep the case on.
I know it happened with the case on. Jeez.
Oh, then that's not.
Do you see? Case. I got a crack here on my because I dropped it here. I know.
Did I tell you my Apple case last time survived a lot of drops, but there was that point on that corner too. I think the camera. I just gotta stop dropping my phone. The cameras and stuff is in that.
I know. Why, John? Like, stop making such a slippery phone. God damn.
Slippery. I think that's why they.
This case is so like, but it feels so nice. That's the thing. Like, I don't complain about it because it feels so nice. Like they really got like I don't know, like what it is about like the texture of this case, but it's very like. Do you feel it too? Like I don't know.
Slippery. I haven't.
It's not slippery, but the case is very like aesthetically like it's pleasing to hold. Like the texture of it.
They have to, because otherwise it kind of defeats the purpose when you have to put the case. But you kind of have to put the case because like that's expensive slippery ware. I mean,
yeah. So the last phone
computer, you don't want to just drop your computer and crack its screen. Like who cares,
Yeah. So the phones we had before were the iPhone 7. I think mine was silver and yours was gold. And so the phones we upgraded to after was I got the midnight green and you got the regular green. But then we had to put them in these cases and we could never see the color. And we were so sad because it was like the first time our phones were like different colors. But we can never see them. And so this year when Apple came out with like these clear screens, like I had to go for them immediately just because like... Yeah, just because like it's really sad when you can't see the color of your phone, especially when it's like a color that you like.
Well, and they pick these like very specifically, I feel like. Yeah, but...
God, when did LSD make us snobs? I'm just kidding.
Like you said, there's just when you start, if you want to make... If you want to something,
yeah, there are choices that you make whether you want to make a quality thing or it's just something to sell. And I think that's why Disney had to buy Pixar because they weren't making quality things anymore.
Well, and
It's
they
like
didn't
a
know
ship
how
to
to
sell.
in that area.
Treasure Island.
They didn't know how to in that, and they left it up to them.
Well, John Lasseter started there, pitched the idea to them, and they fired him. So they had it, they let it go, and Steve Jobs picked up the ball and made them pay a lot of money for it. I think $8 billion for Pixar, which is insane because Star Wars they paid like $4 billion for, and Avengers too. $4 billion. So yeah, Pixar made almost as much.
Definitely makes way more.
No, absolutely. I think the way that they absolutely needed the acquisition, but I think when we compare it to Star Wars and Avengers, you see just how big of an acquisition that was
at the time.
Yeah, and that was before. Yeah, so it's even undervalued. And and before the movies came out, and so it's even so Disney even got a better deal on the Pixar one, even though it cost them like I think like 15%, 8%, I forget. It was like an enormous amount of stock to acquire Pixar.
Yeah.
But it was their fault for letting John Lasseter go. If you would have just kept John Lasseter. I guess, how do you recognize talent?
And not call it insanity? Or,
yeah, I mean, the reason why...
insanity, be like, we like it anyways.
The reason why John Lasseter was let go is probably because, like, the old like, animators saw him as a threat. Mm-hmm. And computer animation was, I mean, you know, it's like if you're not willing to go through the process of relearning to the new technology, then it's like, it's a threat.
Your stories are going to be left behind.
Trying is so nice. If you guys go back, if you guys look back at our first videos, I think within the first month, he was our first guest that we ever had. So it's fun looking back because the set was like a blanket. Okay, so let me. Okay.
Are you trying to? Well, for his spot, I was like, "Is this like a porn?" Shut up.
So, when we started the show, I didn't realize how impacted shipping would be for COVID stuff because of COVID, and so a lot of our stuff came late. But then we wanted to start live streaming for 420 month because it was like it's the only time to do it. It's like the perfect. So. Our green screen was just a blanket at the time.
As close to green as we can get. We were gonna go buy fabric because we were like, "What's the cheapest fabric we can get?"
Yeah, and I was like, I don't want to go buy stuff, so I just use a blanket that we had.
And you're like trying to edit so the color would be the most.
That's crazy. Like, that's why I was
trying to learn that. I'm like, if I don't learn this and he's not here, who's gonna be able to fix this shit?
But that's why our beginning videos look so weird, and like you see, like
you got an actual. Now it's a green screen.
Yeah, now it's actually
what's
the correct
so funny
color green.
Is that's when I realized why people assumed my favorite color was green. I'm like, it's so weird because people maybe it's common for them to not know your favorite color, right? But to assume a favorite color is weird.
Yeah.
And so they assume, and then I realized I have a lot of shit that's this color.
I know, it's perfect. Yeah.
I have a lot of spacesuits. Because, I don't know, I guess green is my thing.
Okay, we only have one of these left, so you can smoke that one, and I'll smoke this one.
Oh, I didn't even finish this one. Oops. Oh my
gosh. All right. This will be our last joint for the night.
Oh yeah, that was a long ride, right? Oh shit.
We should try to wrap up at wow, it's 10:19, so about 7.5 hours after
3. Oh yeah. So they would say that's like the whole time before it's all been
pretty much
metabolized.
And yeah, I mean 12 hours, I guess at most.
Deemed inert. But we always have little boosters on the way.
Damn, do these help?
Like nitro boosters.
I don't know if they help with the speed up or slow down. I feel like they help with the regulation. Like you don't feel like
that's what I'm saying. They're like boosters. If you need to go.
Trung was saying it comes in waves, and I feel like with the weed, it doesn't help it. It helps not feel so like
wavy,
modular. Yeah.
Like once you get in the groove, and if you don't, the weed can help you. Yeah. Counter it so the waves can either, if you want to ride highs, you can stack it or like make it so like sound waves and then cancel each other out so you're just like mellow.
I can't believe we have 450 people that watch the show. It seems like a lot for people who I know. That's the only reference I really had. Where it's like where I knew what 450 people even look like is like a
when
church.
we were trying to build churches,
right? No, it's like you have an idea of what
communities to see how.
you have an idea of what like 100 people look like or like 300 people, but like 450 people is a significant amount, especially if you have that many people subscribed.
Yeah. If you know, in terms of like trying to get city permits or parking or like building use, it's like, whoa. But that's why I don't think people understand. Like 100 million subscribers.
I know.
Consistent. What is like weird? What is that? But people are like, oh, it's YouTube. I'm like, okay, fine. Let's get on YouTube.
Swedish boy in his bedroom would outpace Conan O'Brien, Stephen Colbert, Joe Rogan. Like no one is as big as PewDiePie. Like they
subscribers
wish they could get like his numbers. I don't even think PewDiePie really understands an influence because he's gotten kind of like that scar tissue from I
don't know. Do you think
getting let go?
Well, maybe in China it's not a big deal on their apps.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't
like
think
maybe they're like, oh, if I don't reach 200 million, then I'm like because they've got.
I'm just saying,
over
like,
1 billion
people who strive for those numbers, like professionally, like every day, like as a career, they wish they could get. And it's like
it is a weird.
That's the crazy thing about his channel, and I think you hit it on the nerve where it's like his reactions are just genuine, and he can't help but be that. So that's why he has to carefully edit and put out what he puts out because everything he puts out is genuine.
Yes, but he continues to do it when he gets
because
shit on. But I think that's when he gets like, oh, like you had to.
That's what I know, but he knows how big he is.
Reaction, yeah, and I feel like, oh well, then.
And I think he's
grown
like,
with it.
He's like, I'm okay with this growing as long as I can just do this amount of work. And I think that's where he's at right now. He's like, I don't want to do any more work. No, but he
had to struggle with the whole fallouts and the cancel stuff.
No. And I think that's why.
That was an emotional toll that I think he was willing to take.
And I think to regulate that, he's like, I'm just going to put in this amount of work. And whatever, my expectations are just going to be this. And whatever happens more than that, I'm going to be happy with.
Yeah.
And so I think he seems to really, I think, grow on his subscribers because I feel like his subscribers can feel like they can grow with him. Like there's 10 years of content. It's insane. It's like
I still don't. Yeah, because I'm like,
we have 6 months.
Yeah, I try to subscribe to things. I don't go on YouTube for any. I don't know. I still don't use it. The only time was when I was watching those mukbang or the.
If you didn't have access to streaming, I would guarantee you would. It's just because you have other options. But then when like Disney Plus or like Hulu or Netflix doesn't become an option.
I used to not have those either. Like I didn't need to see those things.
Oh yeah, that's true. But yeah, people.
That's
really,
why I wasn't so culture shocked when I got thrown into Cuba.
But
like,
I think
it wasn't such an isolating thing. I was like,
but
I don't like talking and making myself available to everybody all the time. Like,
well, I think the phone has just become a way for people to catch up on things now, and so I feel like people are always on their phone because that's where they consume like things that you used to have to look at like a newspaper and then like a TV and then like
that's what I'm saying. It's giving you all the information. I feel like people are looking for. The phone is.
I know,
but I can't understand what information they're gleaning from YouTube to have invested so much time on it is my biggest like I don't get.
Yeah, it's because you can't find people like primitive technology on Netflix. You can't like there's so many unique things on YouTube that fill such like an interesting like niche. Like internet historian. You're like, oh, it's entertaining. And it's like it's something that could only exist on YouTube because no one's ever gonna produce that and like pay for that to be on anything.
Well, and I think one of the things that are good when podcasters are able to be successful YouTubers. And I was like, that's interesting because I can listen to so many podcasts because it's an auditory thing. When you're trying to take up my visual space too, that's when I get really irritated. Like, don't distract. Like, I can't be distracted.
Yeah, the visual.
So if you're gonna get my attention, you better be giving me good information.
Yeah.
It's like weird, you know. But so that's why I don't understand the draw to YouTube still. Like,
why? It's like content that like it's anyone can.
But but you can get so much better in different way. I don't know. No. Is it not?
I think.
I guess that's why. Yeah. I know.
There's a real like personal like I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's like people. YouTube is more like a social.
So I understood its value when someone was like, when we were trying, our data that we were trying to send to each other was too big for our email. And I'm like, well, this is because it's all freaking text, whatever. And I was like, there's got to be better ways. And we don't have to duplicate all this data where we can just like put it there and then people can see it.
Yeah, Google's like, you can put it here. We're just gonna glean all that data and sell it to our advertisers. But you know, you can put it here.
And they did it how YouTube. How did they get? Well, okay.
Well, they bought YouTube in 2006 for like 1.2 billion or something.
Yeah, so I was like, the only times I watched videos was because they were like, they had to show videos on what to do, and people were miscommunicating when they were trying to text it. Just send it on, just make a video and then put it up. And it was like so easy. It was like, oh.
Google Video was a thing. They tried to compete with YouTube. They just couldn't. People were just using YouTube more. That's why they had to
That's like
go
Google
for the acquisition.
Hangouts, Google did a lot of stuff. And then they'd rather they
realized
acquisition when they couldn't compete with the people who were already doing it better.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only winning strategy. When you can't innovate, you gotta
amoebatize.
Acquire the things that are going to take over. Otherwise, you're gonna get taken over.
I win those.
If Disney didn't acquire Pixar, like how deep? Like they would be competing with like a crazy competitor right now. Like they can, you know.
But I don't think we get as good quality of the stories that we get.
We might not get as easy distribution, but I think the story quality would have remained the same. I think that's what Disney bought, was that not only, you know, the computer animation department, but also like their strategy on how to make these stories, like these original stories, come and like
but they merged that together.
Yeah, no, I think that's what I'm saying. If they didn't
acquire and put that together, then it would have been. I think it would have looked totally different.
That's what I'm saying. The only winning strategy when you're big is if you can't innovate, is to acquire the companies that are going to out innovate.
Or when you're trying to innovate,
So that's why Google had to take up YouTube for billions of dollars, and that's why, you know, Facebook bought Instagram for billions of dollars, because these new social media platforms are outpacing them quickly. And rather than dealing with them as a competitor later, they would just deal them with an acquisition sooner. And Facebook tried to acquire Snapchat. Snapchat said no, IPO'd, and then for some reason licensed one of their key technologies, which is stories, to Instagram, and then their value dropped.
That kept me off Snapchat. So I was like, oh, do I have to do this? Because I kind of like this better.
You messed up, Snapchat. If you didn't license stories...
I was like, what's this new function? And I usually ignore new functions. I still ignore new functions. I'm like, what is this live shit? But that story thing, it helps me post more. Because it's like, I don't know, there's something... my weird market of wanting to like... I think my generation isn't wanting to be like them influencer, like what... There's a different type of social
Your generation's too old. I'm just kidding. No, I know.
No, boomers wanted this. I feel boomers and millennials wanted the same thing.
I think Matthew McConaughey used. I mean, there are people. I mean, Donald Trump uses social media. So yeah, you can be any age and like.
Yeah, he's really I feel like Donald Trump knows how to do social media.
Yeah, we thought it was Barack Obama. No, it's Donald Trump.
Obama only learns what his kids teach him. Like Trump's not even listening to his kids.
Like
Trump's just doing what he's doing.
That's what I'm saying. How many of Trump's tweets do you remember offhand? Which is how many of Obama's tweets do you remember offhand? So like I can remember a bunch of Trump tweets, like call beef and hamburgers and $2,000 checks. What did Obama tweet? Let's bomb Yemen.
But that's how he became. Like he's such a good showman.
Yeah. Joe Biden sucks.
That's how he sells his stuff.
Like, when Joe Biden tweets, it's like, that's not Joe Biden. It's like, that's someone on his staff tweeting for him. But
I don't get the tweet, like, put in front of my face, because I'm not a Twitter user.
No, I know, but like...
So I'm like, fact that I only know of Trump tweets is like,
no, but I'm saying, like...
Was that a marketing scam? Did he let them go as that? Because it, like...
No, but he's been on Twitter for years, and so it's like...
I know, but they were milking it this 4 years.
No, I know.
All the journalism and all that stuff. Like, they're...
But it's Trump tweeting when he tweets.
Yes.
That's why it's like...
You know what he's watching. He said he saw it on Fox, and this is what he's saying. And you're like, holy crap, now I'm watching Fox. Like, what?
It's so easy to become president.
Propaganda!
If you run as a Republican, anyone can become president. I'll run as a Republican.
Do you know the first Korean American people are running Republicans already in those seats?
It's fine. Yeah, we're white enough to pass for the white people.
Just don't drink. We turn pink or red.
It's fine. I don't think... I think it's... I don't know. Actually, wait. Do they not
I'm
trust...
not selling out.
Not sell out. You have to...
Why didn't they just let us have Bernie?
You have to lead the conservatives gently. Why couldn't they let us have
shoot
Bernie?
Him out back?
I know. Bernie's the best.
Yeah, I want to name her Molly. I'm going to name her Bacon.
Oh, the pig. Oh, I know. I can't wait to try it. It's going to seem so good. That's why I won't look at that pig. I know where her meat comes from.
Trump's like, she's so cute. I'm like, you started it. Now you can't eat that bacon.
That's right. I know.
Because there's limited amount in ounces of bacon that lady's going to produce.
I know.
Trust me, compared to a male pig, like a...
Yeah. And the first time I saw that pig, I was like, I will never look at you again. Because Miguel can't be the only person that eats her. You know what I mean? Like he got her specifically to eat.
You guys were the only one. You always rough it out with him because he's like, dude, we're on a farm. I thought these were for me. And I'm like, I told him, I was like, I was so shocked when you guys ate that pig. And he's like, we're in a third world country. Like, dude, like, where do you think our meat's coming from? We raised it. Like, we did it as a community. We raised a 600-pound pig. Of course, we're gonna eat it.
No, honestly, I would go hunting if I could because I want to be more connected with where our food comes from.
I couldn't eat. This is when I was like, man, I'm so pretentious. Like, and I'm so disconnected from my I've consumed without.
The farthest thing we've gone was like fish.
Yeah, that's what he asked me. He's like, why is there such a disconnect with fish? And I was like,
because they're stupid.
No, I don't know.
They live underwater.
Stop asking me these kinds of questions.
They're easy to kill.
But he's right. Yeah, I know.
Well, because you don't have to raise a fish, you just catch it.
No, you do. Farm raise. You can, most of our...
But then, we treat chickens the same way as fish, I feel like. We eat chicken easier.
But there's a humane way of raising them and a not humane way. And if you look at what they're hiding, because... A pig, regardless of where it's raised, has its requirements to become an adult. And it's how it gets to that adult phase, no matter what the end use of, is like, you don't have to torture it along the whole damn way. Like,
that's why I say, like, as a meat eater, I think it's important for us to realize and be responsible where our meat comes from.
So I'm like, even if I'm not going to eat, if I can't eat it, that means I shouldn't.
Right, no, and that's why I look forward to eating that pig, but I just can't look at it.
Yes.
Or ever think that
that's what's smart. And I keep telling the kids.
I'm trying to tell them. I try to help them.
I just clean up its poop. I'm like, I'm gonna eat you. I don't want you eating. And the problem is they're very clean. They poop and pee away from they don't want to be in their filth. Yeah. And so you're like, okay, well, thank you for keeping my meat clean. Yeah. But
I know, you feed them and you give them a good life. That's the best thing that you can do.
She's enjoying fruits now because she was raised on went from after the milk, just pellets. And so she would only eat the pellets, but the chickens kept eating the pellets. And we're like, she can enjoy fruits and stuff.
Yeah.
And it sweetens the meat too.
Yes. I mean, yeah,
so
it's
now
you
she's
give them a
finally
good life.
eating the Korean pears.
Ooh, oh my God.
Yeah, and melons and stuff that she wouldn't be able to eat.
Yeah, we should respect our meat.
And especially as industrial, like they don't get, their poop and stuff doesn't get cleaned out.
Yeah, right. No, I'm saying, yeah, exactly.
Miguel throws it out. I should get it into the compost area because we have desert soil. And if we can get that stuff on there and like the heat, and we can rejuvenate the soils and return desert land to forests.
And grow some weed. Or
plants,
orchid
fungi,
roots. Can you grow an orchid root?
Whatever you need, you can grow. I wonder if we can sustain ourselves on a diet just of mushrooms. I'm willing to bet there have been communities in Japan that have tried it.
Mushrooms, I heard, are so good.
Or other communities
I love mushrooms.
Way up high in the mountains.
I don't even know why we have to do lab-grown meat when there are some mushrooms. There's like this one mushroom called like chicken of the forest. It tastes like chicken.
You can't eat mushrooms if you have gout. So
what? Whoa, that's weird. Because isn't gout from eating too much meat?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like the amino acids, mushrooms are the decomposers and the life givers. They like recycle everything that goes back to the earth.
So could we?
If you don't shoot yourself back out into the sky, you're just going straight through into the earth.
We're just one big mushroom.
And the mushrooms help reintegrate our bodies, our earthling beings.
It's like The Last of Us 2.
So make sure you practice with LSD to get your soul to go that way.
I know. Has there ever been a movie? I mean, obviously there are movies with like weed depictions. I've even seen like ecstasy depictions, like in This Is the End, but I don't ever shroom depictions in
I never
Midsommar, but I've never seen an LSD depiction.
I only can recognize when someone has made something not to depict their trip, but I'm like, they've tripped.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that song, Not How Drugs Work.
You would have put that together if you didn't trip out.
No, you can't. It's like trying to act drunk when you've never drank alcohol. It's impossible. Like, you just don't know what the feeling is like. And so if you've never tripped, like, it's impossible to come up with what you think a trip looks like. It's just impossible. Like, you can't do it. Because so maybe but the depiction, that's why I've never recognized the depictions of it, because I'm like, that's not. Well, until you can see the nuances.
Is that just an exaggeration?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I wasn't able to do that either until much later in life when I've actually tried all those things.
No, yeah, that's true. I'm like, some things I did have to experience. Okay, so the whole stigma with even like how cocaine or anything you snorted or shot at would affect you compared to anything you just like swallowed in a pill.
Yeah.
Lies.
Yeah, snorting it way better apparently.
Oh no,
I'm just kidding. I don't like cocaine. I just like the way it smells.
That was bottled up and put in a pill too. That was put in a soda too. Like they will find ways to give you this kind of stuff. It comes from a plant.
No.
People who chew the plant, and I'm like that. There's no problem with that. But getting addicted to the extracted form because it's like it helps. This
is why I feel like sugar is the most addictive thing, because I've tried all those other things and I still feel like sugar was the hardest to quit. It's like,
because sugar was actually life sustaining.
I guess it's like the easiest.
There's an actual.
It's a slow kill too.
Physiological. Yeah. Need for energy, for you to consume energy.
But it's also a slow kill. Like everything else, you like, I don't know, overdose on and you die.
Your tongue has been programmed.
Sugar is a slow overdose.
The best and the quickest. I know, but that's only because we live so long.
So that's the problem. We need to die sooner.
No, we need to upgrade our pancreas.
What's wrong with our pancreas?
Our islet cells. See, I usually don't even say those because I don't know if I'm saying.
Isn't that the thing that killed Steve Jobs? Oh, do you know that? Do you know that?
Yes, it is. The survival rate of pancreatic and stomach cancers is really low because by the time they catch it, it's like.
Do you know the meme? It's so sad Steve Jobs died of ligma.
What? What's ligma?
So that's the joke. The joke is ligma balls, right? But then the response to that the person gives was, "Who the hell is Steve Jobs?" Hold on. I need to try to find this meme for you because it's so funny and I see it referenced all the time here.
I know.
I know. Okay, hold on. It's so funny though. I don't know where it comes from.
Are you sure you didn't change the background?
No, I didn't. It's just I would never change this background because
you know what I was about to do right now?
What?
Pull out my Constellation app.
Oh.
I'm like, wait, it's a green screen. It's not.
All right, I'll put
because the Constellation app.
Oh, sorry.
Works by knowing where I'm at.
Okay. Steve Jobs, ligma meme. So stupid. All right.
Oh my gosh, this is happening.
So this is from the movie Watchmen.
I've never watched that either.
It's so sad Steve Jobs died of ligma.
Who the hell is Steve Jobs?
Ligma balls.
That's it.
What?
I don't know why I keep seeing this meme. But that's why I, for some reason, asked you. Yeah. It's so sad Steve Jobs died of ligma. Who the hell is Steve Jobs? Ligma balls. Explodes him.
What do you mean explodes him?
Like,
that's such a funny term.
Did you not see the clip?
I did.
He explodes him.
It's so sad Steve Jobs died of ligma.
Who the hell is Steve Jobs?
Ligma balls.
Oh my god, it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I don't know why.
It's not that I didn't see what I saw.
Exploded him. I don't know how else to explain it. It's like an exploded thing. I know. It's...
He blew him up, or
oh no, yeah, okay, I see what you mean.
It just sounded so like my kids. Oh my! What did you say? I don't think that's proper grammar,
but it's so sad. Steve Jobs died of ligma. I'll take back the.
Oh, I'm like.
I'm surprised you can stand the echo.
That was an ab workout. Oh my goodness.
I don't know. I know. I keep seeing that meme reference on Reddit. I don't.
What?
But I also see. Okay,
oh
so
my goodness.
I keep seeing different iterations of it.
I hate that it's better on every loop.
Okay.
Somehow it is better on every loop, but only if you're watching it with someone. Because when you get stuck on it, sometimes it's not funny. You're like,
oh my
you don't
god,
get it.
okay.
And then you get mad because you're like, I don't get it.
Okay, so
And
the
it's like,
reason
doesn't
I
matter.
just
Then
realized.
you've
Okay, hold
lost
on.
it.
One. Sorry, this is gonna get worse before it gets better.
Welcome to your trip.
That's Oh, nice. Oh my gosh, it really is your birthday. Happy birthday, Yarny.
I made it to 21, guys. I made it to 21.
Happy birthday.
Oh.
You're 10 years older than me, so that means I'm 11.
Welcome to the future, Joseph.
I know, I do a lot of LSD for an 11-year-old.
That's what grows your hair on their beard.
Older sibling are you? Alright, so the reason I keep seeing this meme
I
is...
can't open this. this?
Sorry. Okay. Oh yeah.
It was a tear off.
Oh,
It didn't work.
Where's my leather, man? I think it's in my bag. Can you just turn it open?
I know. I'm such a bad influence, aren't I?
No, you're just suck at ripping things. Come on. Oh no, it's right here. There's another tab.
Johnson would go around with me in Spain
Okay, here we go.
on my
There we go.
searches for like drugs. She's like,
got
is that safe?
You're like, let me sniff.
She's like, okay.
I think so.
She knows how to get us home. Oh, this is why my parents didn't let me go without her.
So I would be crucified on the internet if I let this go, but the reason I keep seeing this meme. Hold on. Sorry.
Okay, hold
So
on.
sad that Steve
500,
Jobs
really,
died
cause
of asthma.
10.
Who's Steve Jobs?
Lick my balls.
See, they need to fix our math. This don't work out. What is that?
No, so I keep
Even me
seeing...
tripping on LSD can say that math don't work out.
Why? Wait, what math?
The quarter of a bag and 100.
Dude, I feel like you could do math better on LSD, so that's not really a... even me tripping on LSD is not really a fair
No.
thing.
Okay, fine. I don't
You would
trust my math. I trust my math less on LSD then.
Wait, is this on?
Sure.
Okay, well, let's play a video and see. So I keep seeing different iterations of this. So
I
it's like,
know,
there's a
what
Dragon
is-
Ball Z. People keep memeing this.
It's so sad that Steve Jobs died of ligma.
Oh. Oops.
I'm like a cat trying to follow your cursor.
There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I hear it.
Okay, yeah, so it's confusing. Forget it.
It's so sad that Steve Jobs died of ligma. Who the hell is Steve Jobs? Ligma balls.
You died it.
I don't know why it keeps it keeps sending me to that PewDiePie workout video after all of these. Maybe there's something about looking at blue naked men that draws people to PewDiePie's workout videos.
Blue?
Yeah, I mean the original video is of Dr. Manhattan, which is a blue naked man. I think that's his name.
It's so sad Steve Jobs died of ligma.
Who the hell is Steve Jobs?
Ligma balls.
We keep remaking this. But they keep using the source audio from the movie. Which is
Did
from
you watch
The Watchmen.
the movie?
I did watch the movie.
Oh.
I didn't really feel like I didn't really know the source material. And so I just watched the movie and it was okay for me. But
What
yeah.
are the reviews about it?
I think they're good. I think that's why I went to watch it. People who like that so there's the movie that came out. I forgot what year the movie came out in, but then HBO recently came out with another Watchmen thing based off of the graphic novel. Popular.
Right? It's like it's a comic book. He's a character.
It's like yeah. I think they're all kind of based off of comic book characters. I think yeah, it takes place like in a universe like where like superheroes and like villains exist. And so like Dr. Manhattan is kind of like I forget what happened to him. He started as human and then maybe he blew himself up in like a nuclear blast and got super powerful and like went to live on Mars for a bit and then like came back to Earth and then decided maybe humanity wasn't worth it and was going to kill all of us and that's why he exploded that guy. Oh no, I didn't really watch.
Yeah,
I only watched the movie once.
There's so many stories I've heard. I get them all mixed up.
Yeah, maybe you should watch the HBO one. HBO stuff seems to be pretty good. Hey, do you think they'll pick up Blazing Asians?
They want a documentary.
If you guys
But
know anyone at HBO,
a show.
they turned down Dave Chappelle, so
True stories.
they don't want to. If they don't want to make that mistake again, tell them to call us.
So why do they say blazing? Oh, it's because you smoke.
Trailblazing and for blazing weed.
Oh.
Yeah.
what would they say LSD? I don't know the street slang.
I don't know.
Very well.
Tab. So I heard the cool kids were saying.
What do you say when you
frying?
Oh, that's a long time ago.
Really? Okay, so I heard that recently.
They
And I was like,
like he fried out or
something like that.
But that was like way back in the 60s. That's what you don't want to fry your brain.
People are very hesitant to take LSD. Like even my age, and I see Trump.
Which is weird. It's like they'll take so much other stuff that I'm like, but.
Well, yeah. Like yeah, they'll take as much E as they want.
Scientific data and
they're like
human
Molly all
biology, physiology would tell us.
I know people that pop Molly pills like Tic Tacs.
Yeah, because they've heard that Molly's like MDMA, and that's getting some of the studies it's been in has showed a lot of efficacy for really bad PTSD.
No, it's fine. It's just like, but you won't try LSD. I mean,
but that's the thing. They only do it because they heard those things. If those like,
obviously, you should only try things if you're willing to try them and you're ready. There's no one should
do
force
your research
to try anything that you don't want to try. This is why I don't drink, and this is why I don't let people pressure me.
No, but you've tried it.
No, I know.
It's
That's
not
what
like
I'm saying.
you haven't tried. You're not like.
It's okay to try things when you're ready, or to not try them at any time. It's fine. Like, just do. Just don't be uncomfortable. That's all I'm saying.
We're not condoning drug use.
No, but we're just condoning
finding yourselves.
Yeah, I mean,
and your sanity in times of insanity.
There are
like if anything this year taught me, like nothing's in your control.
Yeah, no, I think there are many ways.
Or you can plan for shit.
There are many ways to peace. I think some people find it in like religion or like meditating or I don't know, working out. But discipline. I think in general, but I think psychedelics and medicine, like plant-based medicine, is that what they call it? In general, really help. I feel like setting like mindsets where you can actually make change.
Yeah, well, it's like a great merger again of like people recognizing mental health and how
again, we live too long.
It is, and how the effects and the values of it, like I think we're recognizing it now. We used to say it's like hosh posh or whatever, but now there's like enough scientific data that's been even recorded and like and seen throughout that it's like, oh, this can work for so many people.
Yes, but also there's like, I think there is also maybe like a therapy that needs to go along with it, because like it's like,
yes,
like Anthony Bourdain did like a lot of LSD. I think
that was in his earlier years,
right? And he did it, I think, more as an escape, but then like,
and also as a creative tool.
It makes me, but it does make me really sad that like someone who can take that much LSD would still be so like troubled, because it's not a solution.
It means like it should,
or it can't
be. No, it just allows you to see that there are other solutions, that there are other therapies, or there are other things you have to like seek out.
Yeah. And that's what I'm thinking.
To really utilize it. And I think that's why he didn't use it as much when he was older. He only remembered what it did for him in his youth. And it's like,
right. But I think we're beginning to understand like maybe the benefits to them hand in hand, like those types of substances coupled with therapy. Because now that they're, being descheduled by the DEA.
Well, yeah, and I think a lot of people,
or decriminalized at least,
don't want to trip out. They're like, I don't want to get stuck I don't have 8 hours. And so it's like, that's why like
people have 8 hours now.
Microdosing, that helps.
Yeah.
But for those who are just even scared to touch it because of like, oh no, what happens if I OD? It's like, there's no real OD, and like, look how much we took.
I mean, that's why the microdoses have to be small enough for like anyone to take. Like it's gotta be a 1 milligram cannabis edible.
Sub-perceptual.
Yeah. Where you're like, oh, I guess
You
I could take
can't-
2.
Stupid.
It's like, why do we take 2 Advil? Because for some reason we don't think 1 is enough.
No, I think because when you have to, when you take it at a second dose, it might have to be, there's a tapering off of it. I don't know. But anyways, maybe they didn't want to give you a giant pill to take. They make 400 milligram, 800 milligram, 1600 milligrams, like ibuprofen. They just have to be prescribed.
Wow, this is when you have a big headache, huh?
They'll tear up your kidneys.
You have to be prescribed a new kidney with that, huh?
No, that's like the bad loop. It's like, if you drink a lot of alcohol, it dehydrates you, messes up your kidneys. You take Advil to deal with the hangover. Jacks up your kidneys even more.
Do you know what I really want
It's
to
a
do?
vicious cycle. Plus your liver.
Do you know what I think would be really fun? If I could play Bobby Lee in a movie.
Bobby Lee. I don't know if you can be that emotional.
One, how dare you?
I'm like, I can play Bobby. I don't know if you can.
What? No, Bobby's great.
I'm just kidding. Maybe I feel like
I want to play him in a movie
maybe
with
I'm
Steven
not as
Yeun. Steven Yeun can
expressive.
play Ken Jeong. It'll be so funny. They were in
You
together.
you guys try to do a movie of what you feel their relationship.
I know, Steven Yeun. I wrote you in Blazing Asians. You're in the pilot.
What if he doesn't even smoke weed?
He does. He's
Oh,
come to the
I'm
shop.
like, you know how many straight edge
I've sold him weed.
Koreans? I was like,
I've sold him weed. I
Well,
gave Conan
there's a
O'Brien
lot of-
weed. He said he gave it to his assistant Sona. We'll see.
oh yeah.
I know. Wow, we met such cool people.
I listened to the Conan Wants Friends because of her. Isn't she the
Sona Movsesian,
Mhm.
Armenian assistant.
She's the Andy. Is it? Oh.
She's like, yeah. She's like the new Andy. She's just kind of, you kind of get her reaction, and like she kind of chimes in when she is engaged with.
And,
But then
and then you're like,
otherwise-
yeah, you are being a dork or an asshole
Right.
or whatever.
But then otherwise, when he's engaging with the guests, they kind of just like sit back.
Mhm.
But he's basically there to
Filler.
like, yeah. I guess she's a good sounding board for him. But also, she has a like, what they call
But
like,
you're interested in her, like it's.
yeah. She has an
You like
objective. She
their
questions it
character.
back, or she
You
can
like-
she can be like, wait, no,
She can kind of express the things you want to express, but can't.
yeah. She's smart too.
Oh no, that's
which
I guess a
helps.
good co-host.
Yeah, I wish I
They're
had one.
like
Just kidding.
almost opposite. Shut up.
Just kidding.
Look, there you go.
Yeah.
Your cursor that I've been chasing around this whole time. It's like what they said when they sold Rusty's. Here you go. I gave you something.
Oh my god, yeah. I didn't even
I
know.
thought I couldn't be.
I gotta go watch
There's
that
your
movie
cursor.
now.
Oh, they don't even see it, huh?
No, they don't see.
Oh, they don't see that mouse cursor? This little thing that I'm always following around because I know that's what you're controlling and what you're looking at. I'm like, what's he? How does he? They don't see that. Fine.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I know. I wonder.
We
This
ate all
might be
these.
a
Oh my
super
gosh.
edited video. It might be really interesting, or it might just be complete nonsense. We'll see.
Oh, this is the new format you said.
Yeah. Yes. There's going. Yeah, where it's a lot.
2021.
Well, we
Here
can
come.
stop the videos a lot
Blazing
more.
Asians.
I mean, Blazing Asians is
Otherwise-
2016.
I'm gonna have to move.
To where?
I don't know.
Well, you can live anywhere and do a YouTube channel. Like,
That's
where does
true.
PewDiePie live?
But it's too cold here. Well, I guess no. What am I complaining? I was
So yeah, what? You were just saying it's not that cold.
because we're in
It's
California.
a flip flop. I know. I don't. Yeah.
Like
feel
for
fine.
us to be like, oh, we still have to drive to go see
I have to go to
snow.
Connecticut soon, and they were like, you have to get waterproof, like
And a
jacket
windbreaker,
and like long
boots.
johns and like boots. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, I don't have
Traction,
any. I don't have any of that.
snow.
So
Appa, I should have.
no. I do have
Oh.
the stuff, but I'm also. That's when I realized, like, oh my god, I can't just buy stuff. Like,
Well,
I have it
we
now.
always went through REI.
No, I know.
So I feel like for our outdoor gear, we have surprisingly been always
But I've always not had that
exposed
mindset.
to.
I always used to think like Chonsa, where it's like, yeah, just buy the cheapest thing, it's fine.
That's like Oma.
Sure. And now I have a lot.
And they would
I
yell
have a
at
lot of
Abba
a harder.
for constantly wanting to buy
Okay,
the REI.
but do you know what it is? I don't want to just add something into my collection that I'm not. That's not a permanent thing.
No, that's the reason why I finally decided to buy the watch, like spend money to buy a good watch, is because I saw how our parents were like, oh, once you buy it, like that should be it. Like it was like a jewelry,
the Rolex,
like
a
their engagement gift to each other,
Yeah.
and they still had it.
No,
like,
a good watch with a good movement is actually worth like its weight, and that's what like the Rolex is. It's like it's not like
I know, but people still look at it and they're like, "Oh, you must be." I'm like, dude, this Rolex is how many years old? And I like, but it's
it could because
I've never had to buy another watch except the Apple Watch.
you don't have to put a battery in it.
It helped.
That's the difference between a quartz and an analog movement watch. But then
the
Rolex in itself is like it's just a mechanical engineering marvel. Like it's just it's so interesting. Like when you see, because they have to service them because it's all these moving parts. And so
I had to do that for our parents.
Yeah, when you see someone take apart a Rolex watch and like put them together,
they took care of their watches. Like they were their like wedding gifts.
I can't wear a watch. I like, as much as I like watches, I
don't think your generation, because it's not. You had a phone. Like, why have something else?
No, but I did have. I wore a watch. I mean, I did grow up wearing a watch. I didn't always have a phone. I didn't have a phone until I was in high school, and so I was wearing a watch for a while. And I remember I asked your friend Sharon.
They're less clunky.
Your friend Sharon asked me. It was such a long time ago, but I was like, "Oh, I want a watch," and she got me a really nice. I forgot what theme it was, but it was such a nice watch. Maybe it was like Animaniacs. No, like one of those types of watches. It was
when you're young.
Yeah, it's like I wanted a watch when I was young, but then I realized as I get older, it's like
that's what Gus wanted to watch.
I don't like things around my wrist. I guess I don't like actually anything on me. Like I don't like necklaces or like.
That's like Oma and Chonsa.
Yeah, although I do wear glasses, but I guess that's because I don't like contacts.
Like they have a harder time ignoring physical inputs. I mean, sensory, tactile.
Well, it's like
stimulation.
If you, it's almost like it's fatiguing. Where it's like, if I don't have to have this on me, what should I have?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It continues to bother them. Their brain won't ignore it.
Yes, that's like me and putting on socks now.
Other people can totally ew.
No. Ever since I switched to Birkenstocks, I'm like, I don't like unless it's cold. I don't put on socks. And in California, it's never that cold. Even when it's
everyone's always in flip flops. That's the joke. Like
pretty much,
you can go anywhere in flip flops.
And so I can go. I don't know. Like maybe like I literally like 10 months out of the year without wearing socks. Probably. I usually go that long. My God.
Only started to hear, and also to the Raynaud syndrome got really bad after having.
Wait, what?
Raynaud's, it's like your hands and everything turn. See how purple my hands are?
I mean, I wear socks because my feet are ugly and I'm ashamed, but
it's a like blood constrictions. Like you don't see the different color in my hand.
I don't know. Your hands always look wrong, anyways. So it's like, what's wrong with them now? I don't know. They're white.
Like purple. This one's purple, so it's like it's lost circulation.
There's so many different colors they can be. I don't know what's wrong. It's like,
and then
it's our fleshly color. I mean, my hands look wrong now.
My feet would turn purple. And
what color? Because you always had socks on?
No, now if I keep socks on,
then you don't know what color they are.
No, they won't. They won't even be. They won't get purple.
They're all the colors at once.
No,
That's
I think
quantum
they stay
socks.
the color they're supposed to be
until they're observed.
Stupid.
Wait, what color are feet supposed to be? Not purple?
Your skin color. Yeah, purple means there's not enough blood flow.
Pale.
It should not be turning purple or blue.
I know, that's me when I eat too much sushi.
Oh my goodness. The first time Miguel had sushi, he was like, "You don't cook your fish," but that's because the fish caught in the sea,
Yeah.
Caribbean are so different
Yeah,
than the Japanese
I mean, yeah,
cold
even
water fishes.
Japanese people had such a hard time eating sashimi grade salmon because they
there
didn't
was no
catch it there.
such thing.
And so
there
they
was
had
no
not in
such
Japan.
thing
They had
as-
to be sold it
and
from
they
like
didn't
Norway, like a northern fish who had that clean of salmon where they could cut it like that. And so it's like
Yes.
even like you can only really get salmon grade or like sashimi grade or sushi grade like cuts of like really only some parts of the world. And like it has to be shipped to you.
So when I went
Otherwise,
to
it has worms.
so there are certain fancy restaurants, and
Mhm.
they say where they got their fish and their chefs.
They're all lying. You listen to a podcast on fish fraud.
And no, I know that
Just
like
kidding.
the Chilean.
Unless you see the head on the fish, you don't know what it is. That's basically the message of the podcast.
And that's how Americans get sold on
I know.
stuff.
This is why I want to catch my own tuna. Tuna is my favorite fish. If I could just live on tuna, I would be so happy.
Fish that's so bad.
It's okay. Let's grow them at home.
Grow them at home. They
Can we? Is that a
live
thing?
in the ocean, and so
Yeah, I mean,
they
we have
already have an
SeaWorld.
awesome ocean. If we would just let them,
we entrap
survive
orcas
and
at
thrive.
SeaWorld. We can entrap some yellowfin tuna.
You're not up to the. We're past
Bluefin? Which one's the highest fin?
No, we've
What
learned
label?
our lesson from trying to capture orcas.
No.
It's-
Let the
we're
orcas
time-
go.
Yes, letting them
Salmon,
go.
tunas are like the dumb fish, so it's okay to
Oh
eat
my
them.
gosh.
They're not as smart as pigs or orcas. It's fine.
I know.
Tunas are just delicious. Man, they're so good.
They say it's the chicken of the sea.
It's better than chicken, honestly. If I would
you
eat
could see
tuna.
what Tyson's being sued for.
I would eat way more tuna
Do
if
you
it was
want
cheaper.
chicken of the sea?
That's why I want to go out and catch one.
We did.
I know. It sounds fun. That's where we should be more connected.
Those
with where
were
our food comes from.
wild. Yeah, you guys should go.
All right.
I don't have the arm strength to
Speaking
pull it in
of-
anymore.
Connected with our food, we should end this episode.
Oh,
and we'll go
yeah.
eat. We made it
It's
7
been-
o'clock. Wow, how many hours?
How many
That's 8
hours?
hours? Jeez. How do you feel? You took a tab and a half?
I feel normal.
So my gauge for this is always I look at my iPhone keyboard.
Oh, to see if it like looks normal.
Right, so a good well, it's all because it stays the same. So I think what LSD does is like things with rounded corners, like it really makes them like kind of reverberate, and so they shift and they kind of wiggle. And so everything on the iPhone,
Anything
from
with
their
curves.
keyboard to their like their app layout, they all have rounded corners. Even like the iPhone itself, it's just like it's all rounded corners.
No 90-degree.
Yeah, and even like and so looking at my iPhone is always my reference for me for when I'm still
Like you can tell this is not iPhone design.
yeah, if I'm
Too
like
many
visually
points, too
tripping.
many points.
I know I can. Of course, I can't mimic iPhone design. I'm not a designer. Jesus. Just kidding. I know. This is why I love looking at it. It's like wow,
Step
they
up your
really set
game.
the standard. Yeah, design team that we
Integrate.
pay nothing. Actually, no, they got paid in 59 weeks of unemployment. Crazy. Anyways, well, until YouTube pays us, I don't have to report it. So let's get to 1,000 subscribers.
I know. I was like, how come that?
Actually, well, give me like 4 months, I guess,
4 months? Why?
because I'm still collecting unemployment.
Oh, because.
Well, I don't think you can report
4
income,
months.
but I don't think we're gonna
It's
make
not
anything.
It's not even that much. Like even if you report that.
I don't know, unless we grow like Joanna Kedia does. So
Oh yeah, then it's
see
like,
if I can
oops.
edit like her, or if we're as entertaining as a 19-year-old Canadian girl.
I don't think so.
I know
Not
she's
too
pretty
much.
funny.
That's
God
why we're
damn.
like, hurry up and grow up, kids.
Yeah, Adriana, come on.
This is why there's child labor
How many
laws.
times? Well, no, that's why it's like I'm not gonna. It would be more beneficial if she were willing to go through the wherewithal of having to edit it herself, because I don't want to have to edit it for her. And so it's like if you
Oh,
really
I
want to
think
do
they
this, I'll
do.
teach you how to edit it. And
Mhm.
and I think naturally by the time you get to an age where you're able to do those things, I feel like you'll be at an age where you're better discerning on what you want to put on.
Yes,
And so I think Joanna Kedia did it right, where I feel like
my kids are at the state before they're like, post it, send it, post it, send it. I was like, oh my gosh, there's just too much stuff you think you're doing that's postable. And then now it's like, don't send it, don't post it, don't do that, no, erase that.
Right. Oh, they're becoming more self-conscious. Or self-aware, maybe.
Or, yeah, recognizing like, oh, that was not what I wanted to be seen. Or what I wanted to express at that moment. Like,
I know, you know,
when he's trying to do like a karate move
thing,
and he can't get it right.
I feel like
he wants to do a dive and he does a belly flop. It's like, oh shit, can you erase that?
I think the thing that prepared me most for the social media generation might have been the Bible. Or like maybe specifically Psalms? No, not Psalms. Proverbs. Yeah, it always talks about how a man's name is like worth more than obviously. I've had to read that book so many freaking times. Anyways, it always
King Solomon and Asian people want you to be very wise. So you should be wise by reading the things that wise people wrote.
If you guys don't know, the book of Proverbs is an Old Testament book. It was written by the son of King David, who is King Solomon, who was asked by God himself. He was like, what do you want? And like he wisely said wisdom. And then God was like, all right, well, since you didn't say like fame or fortune, I'll give you all those things as well. And so this book comes out, I guess, of a lot of experience of what it's like to live through all of those things and what, you know, even after all the fame and fortune, what the messages are. And it really emphasizes a lot of like, watch your tongue, like watch what your words are. And a man's like reputation is worth more than like gold and silver.
So you have to remember he was this like bastard son. Like he was the best Bathsheba's second. Remember when King David made a bad mistake, and then that young son to have to grow up with all those older brothers who had a right to the throne.
They didn't ask for wisdom.
But
those
then
idiots.
Also King David was the last son of his whole, like the whole Bible theme is about like, I feel like there's the underdog. Not the but just like,
I know, you know what Bobby says.
The one
in this town,
he grew up. He had to have insight. Yeah. Wait, what was that?
Sorry, this is the thing where so on the Steve Byrne episode, they talk about like, oh, how like for instance, like the Israel Palestine thing is like how like you're not supposed to take a stand, like especially in like this town, which is he's referring to LA, and he's like Jews rule, and Steve Byrne gives him this look like what? Like what do you? It's like the funny. Oh my gosh, it's like the funniest thing I've ever seen because it's almost like a look of like genuine confusion, but also like of like, wait, why would you just say that? Like, oh, Steve Byrne.
Man, maybe because he's just referencing things.
No, Jews rule. All right, we should end this episode. That was way too long.
I know. Wow, it's like when we first started.
Hopefully,
when we did those videos that were really long.
Hopefully,
live streaming.
Yeah. Oops. What happened? Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. This was a fun experiment. We'll see how it turned out, or what the editing process looked like, or maybe there will be no editing process and we just release the whole thing.
We can cut it up later.
Yeah. If you're a big YouTuber and you want to trip with us, let us know. We'll be like Hot Ones, but with LSD.
Yeah, and then we can watch something together or
answer you can just together. Yeah, no, you can just be there for them. I mean, they can like leave or do whatever you want, but then if they want to like come back and like talk, it's like, yeah, like come talk to us.
Like a live camera of
It is like a podcast, but it's more fun because you get LSD or you get to try it and like talk to people. Yeah,
live cam.
It's like Hot Ones, where instead of Hot Wings,
I don't know what Hot Ones.
Hot Ones is where you eat a bunch of Hot Wings and like
the one
descending
we
order,
saw
with Gordon Ramsay and Jessica Alba.
Famous people.
Yeah. So instead of Hot Wings, we provide them with psychedelics,
hotter and hotter stuff. It's like first.
We'll start you with a little LSD. Dose, and we'll see. If you like
not
it.
LSD. We'll start you with weed.
I don't know. Yeah, if they want to do the LSD, let's do it. I mean, no one's doing it, right? It might as well be the first ones.
Here's a bunch of different mushrooms.
Yeah, Joe Rogan's already smoking people out.
We'll
so
just
we
put it on the table.
Joe Rogan has the weed
Here's a
thing.
scale. Here's the internet. These are the things labeled appropriately.
Here's the bed. If you need to lay down. If you want to talk to us, just FaceTime us. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. This was fun. I'm going to go eat.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we'll do another one. We'll see if this one gets any traction. If not, we'll probably just do another one for fun.
Next time we'll try
Shrooms?
San Pedro.
Ugh.
Oh, you don't like doing shrooms?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, sure. No, I'll do anything on camera once. I guess now. I mean, you know, we got a normal.
Now you sound like an OnlyFans person.
There's no different.
Come on, set it up.
I am no different.
I think they'd rather see you.
We are all selling our content for the highest bidder, so I'm no different. We're all content creators.
Yes.
This is where Jesus would hang out.
Give them a safe space.
Jesus would hang out on OnlyFans if he was here today. You can quote me on that. Okay.
Oh.
All right, let's finish. I'm hungry.
You're gonna get the religious fanatics.
That's fine.
Barking up your door.
I'll be like, I'm a conservative too. Relax.
I'm just kidding. Come thump your Bibles at me.
Yeah, it's fine.
I like those.
I'll take it. I mean, I probably read the Bible more than you anyways. Yeah.
From front to back in so many versions.
Bring it on. I know Bernie Sanders.
I tried to learn Hebrew to understand the original text.
I know the word shalom.
You know Eloi and Adonai
and bar mitzvah and bat mitzvah.
But people don't realize that those are plural forms.
And Zuckerberg.
For God.
All right. Well, Elo way out of here. All right. If you want to support us, go check out our merch store. If you want to support more videos like these. All right. Bye, guys. I don't know how else to end this.
If you like the video, leave a like and subscribe.